problems, or they have troubles, or they have needs. The rest of the time, we don't see them. How about fair weather friends? They're the ones that only come around when you're feeling good, but disappear when you have problems, you have needs, you have difficulties. They vanish, nowhere to be seen, off into the sunset. How about fair weather faith? Do you have faith that's just good when you're feeling good, that disappears when you have troubles, or when you have relationship problems, financial problems, health problems? It disappears. Fair weather faith. Sometimes we treat Christ as a fair weather friend. He's close by when we have no troubles. He's close by when we don't need anything. When everything's going fine, but whenever things go awry, we think Christ disappears. We treat him like a fair weather friend. If that's you, you're not alone. Most of us, to some degree, have fair weather faith. Because whenever things go really bad, our faith tends to get rocky. And you're not alone because you have good company, because the disciples were like that. Almost every time in the Bible when something seemed to go awry, their faith seemed to disappear. They often saw Christ teach and do miracles. And one of the things he taught was what the kingdom of God was like. And he says this in Mark 4:26, "This is what the kingdom of God is like. A man sows seed in the ground, night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. As soon as the grain is ripe, he takes a sickle to it, because the harvest has come." So regardless of whether we worry, or regardless of whether we don't, whether we fret or whether we don't, whether we get upset or not, the seed that's been planted is going to keep growing. Or should keep growing. And this, in fact, comes back to a saying in Isaiah 55, verses 10 and 11. "As the rain and snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Irregardless of how we react. Now the disciples heard all this. And they heard him preach this on the shores of Lake Galilee. But then they went out in the boat. And whenever a storm came up, they panicked. They heard, but they didn't remember. In the meantime, while they were panicking and fretting, Jesus slept in the rear of the boat. And they were saying, "We're drowning and Jesus is dreaming." They had no really feeling. Why aren't you doing something for us? And then Christ came and said, "Peace, be still," and the waves and the sea calmed. And even though they knew him, they said in Mark 4:41, they were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Jesus rebuked them and said, "Why are you so afraid? Do you not have any faith?" And the words he used for faith and fear in that sentence, the Greek words, are the same that's used in Revelation 21. When it says, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the mundane, the sexually immoral, these who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, their place will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death." words he used were not pleasant, were not nice. But this is what he told the disciples. Why are you so afraid? Do you have no faith? They heard Christ say all his sayings. They saw the miracles, but still they did not remember it. A Chinese philosopher by the name of Zunzi, in the 3rd century BC, in the teachings of Thoreau, wrote this: I hear, and I forget. I see, and I remember. I do, and I understand. Just as the disciples heard Christ and forgot, many of the things we tell people go in one ear and out the other. They forget. They don't remember them. But what they see us do, they often remember. They often accept. And when they see us do things that Christ did, then they will understand. See, hear, and do. 3 actions, all of which are something we should think about.